So hi everyone. In this particular video, we want to demonstrate what is a pivot table, and this pivot table is applicable to question 1F of the January 2021 paper. Let's have a read. We will do our explanations and demonstrations pertaining to this question so that we will better understand the answers. So the information in worksheet 1 below shows the total sales for each of the months January, February, and March for 5 salespersons in their particular districts. So, for example, Kathleen Albert, a salesperson from the Port of Spain district, has sales of 1,925, 1,500, and 1,350 for the months of January, February, and March, respectively. The data in range A1 to E8 of Worksheet 2 was summarized and reorganized from Worksheet 1, the original worksheet, to allow for easier reading. So Worksheet 1 is our original worksheet. That's what they are telling us. And Worksheet 2, we have our summarized data. This summarized data class is a pivot table that was constructed based on the data from the Worksheet 1. So how do we do that? What I have done, now you don't have to do this, but I'm doing this to demonstrate to you. Alright, this is my data. This is my original table. I type it out. Okay, and to build a pivot table, what was done is that if you choose pivot table, you're going to get this task window, and they tell you to select a table or range. So this is my original table, so I'm selecting everything. Alright, and also, alright, choose where you want the pivot table to be placed. So basically, I'm just going to choose a location that is going to house my new pivot table. Alright, so I will say OK. Then you're going to come across to this fillable box. And what do we want our data to be looking like? We want our data to be looking like we want the salesperson in our rows. Right, and we want the months as columns, and our sales as our values. Alright, so let's have a look at this. So essentially, this is the same pivot table. Let me just put in a border. This is the same pivot table that we see in the question. Right, January sales 7,880, and in my spreadsheet, alright, January sales 7,880. Okay, so our grand total 23,540. We also have that. Right, so all the figures do match up. So this is the pivot table. So essentially, they ask you to, in question part 1 of this question, they ask you to identify the feature or the function of the spreadsheet which was used to produce the summarized data in worksheet 2. And your answer is going to be a pivot table. Right, so all of this is just showing you what they are going to ask the question on. So the feature or the function of the spreadsheet which was used to produce the summarized data in worksheet 2, the answer is a pivot table. Alright. Alright, this question, part 2, state the information that are provided when a value in the grand total row of worksheet 2 is double clicked. So let's try that and see what will happen. So if I were to double click this, what should happen? Alright, essentially, all the January sales are pulled, right? And it is basically giving you all of the January sales. Alright, so we'll continue in another video.